Hello, everybody. Happy New Year. Happy 2023. So, as I have mentioned before, um, some new and exciting things unfolding in my business this year that you guys are going to be a part of. And this is the first, well, I guess the second piece that's new that I'm putting out already this year. And I have been giving you guys a video every month, usually just focused on the key of the month. And this year, I'm being guided to share a little bit more of my gifts and talents. And so every month, I am going to be at the beginning of the month recording a video for you with guidance and insights, or insights and guidance for the month ahead, and including a little bit of sharing on the key that we're focusing on this month. So here's the first one of the year. So I hope you guys are having a beautiful, fun, exciting beginning of 2023. Now, I know for myself, it was a little bit rocky yesterday. So I went to sleep on 2022 feeling amazing. I actually woke up feeling pretty good yesterday too, but yesterday afternoon, I had a little bit of a shift. Which didn't feel so great. So, which brings me to my first insight or guidance for this month. And it really is that, as we come off of the holidays, whatever holiday it is that you celebrate, whether it be Christmas or Hanukkah or, fill in the blank, as well as, of course, New Year's, that we know that the holidays just stirs up a lot of stuff for us, and not just the holidays, but also the end of the year, right? So, we start to look back on, and I'll talk about this in a little bit, reflect on, the past year, where we've been, where we're going to go. And so some of us have a little bit of, or a lot, feeling of frustration or sadness. Sometimes mourning, right? We're mourning. Maybe we have some guilt or shame around what we did or didn't do this past year, or even during the holidays. So we've got this holiday thing coming off the holidays going on, but also the transition into the new year. So it's a pretty intense time for a lot of us, especially pretty much everyone listening here is what we call empathic, highly sensitive. And so you're not only picking up on your own, you've got your own stuff that you're working through and releasing as you move into this next year. And you're also picking up on a lot of other people's, the collective, if you want to call it, their stuff, because you are so sensitive, because you are so empathic. Okay. So if it's feeling super intense, again, just remember it might not only be yours, it's probably the larger collectives as well. And so you really want to give yourself some gentleness. You want to give yourself some time to release this stuff, and even the awareness that some of this is the collective stuff and that it's not yours to actually take on. So I know a lot of you listening are healers, coaches, and teachers, and there's this old belief system, right, as a healer, coach, teacher, that we're supposed to take away other people's pain. But the truth is, we are here to support people through their pain, but we're not here to do it for them, and we're not here to take it on. So that's going to be a big thing that we're working on releasing more of this year. So again, when you are having these emotions come up, acknowledge that they might be not just yours. And just by acknowledging that and then saying, you know what, I'm going to release, taking on trying to fix the collective stuff, unless people are actually coming to me personally and asking. And also by clearing our own stuff, we're also helping to clear the collective. So by doing our own inner work, by you showing up for your emotions and working through, releasing, feeling and releasing, you are actually helping the collective. If everybody just did that, we'd be in a much better place, a much different place on the planet right now. So that's what we're practicing. So that's one of the things that's coming in to share with you. Next, we've got New Year's, and there can be a lot of pressure around the new year. I think that's part of what was happening for me yesterday. I probably also had some expectations around yesterday, which got a little bit, the weather wasn't what I wanted it to be here yesterday in Hawaii. So my plan to go get in the ocean and sit at the beach and get some sun, and that just didn't happen. So one of the other things that's coming in is have your desires. Have your desires. It's okay to have expectations, but hold them loosely, especially as we move into this year. There's going to be a lot of surprises, let's say, this year. Okay, so things that you had no idea that were going to happen. A lot of them, well, everything's good, but some of them we see as negative or bad at first. So having those desires, having those expectations, but holding them loosely. All right. If you haven't yet, a really powerful thing to do, and we're doing this in my Expand program. We have the first live class today. You want to look back and celebrate, if you haven't yet, what you've accomplished, the progress you made in 2022. So I'm going to call this kind of the reflect and release piece or guidance right now for you. So celebrate, write a list of what you want to celebrate for last year and actually celebrate it, whether it's sharing it with somebody else. If you come to the live class today, you can share it with us. Sharing it with your sweetie, your family, a friend. It's really important that we do celebrate our progress every year. And so for 2022. So that's one piece. Next is, what do you want to bless from last year? Those things that we considered to be negative or challenging. And we know that everything happens for us. So what do you want to bless from last year that you don't, so you don't carry it into next year? And the same thing, number 3, what do you want to release? As you're moving into this new year, clean slate, what is it that you need to release? You want to release limiting beliefs, fears, old habits and patterns and behaviors that have not been serving you. Maybe they never have, but they're definitely not serving you now. Relationships, jobs. And, when we want to release something, it doesn't mean we drop it like it's hot, like this minute. Sometimes it takes a little bit to release it. So let's just kind of put that out there and not pressure ourselves so much. But what do you want to release? And knowing that as you write those things and you affirm those things that you want to release, it's already happening, right? Just acknowledging it, the awareness of it, the intention is putting it in motion. And then, of course, we want to use all of our other tools and practices, whether it be the guided therapeutic meditation, the self-healing processes, setting inspired actions that you can take throughout the next week or several weeks to help you to release. Definitely asking your something bigger, whatever you call it these days, universe, source, higher levels, God, for support in releasing this, because we know that oftentimes we have to release the old so that this new that we desire, the more that we desire to receive in this new year can come in. So, which brings me to my next piece, spending some time this next week, and actually not just this week, throughout the month. January is actually the month of reflect and release. Okay, so we're reflecting on all the other stuff I just said, plus what you want moving forward in all 8 life areas that I talk about. And what does your soul really desire this next year? And when I say soul, remember we've got ego and soul. Ego desires, the most simple way to explain it to you, ego desires come from a place of wanting to either prove yourself as worthy or lovable or good enough, wanting to please other people. So wanting something in order to make somebody else happy or to please someone or to get their approval. Those are ego desires. We're looking more at soul desires. It doesn't matter what other people it's not dependent on other people. It's what your soul is being guided to want. And as always, we are here to expand. We are here to evolve. And it's okay to want more, right? That's actually what we're here to want more. We're here to create more, to want more, to every year just expand and evolve. So, a lot of us hold that limiting belief that I should just be happy with what I have and I shouldn't want more. You know what? We do want to be happy with what we have. And we are here to want more as a soul. Like we just are. So carving out some time this month, giving yourself the whole month to reflect and release before you zoom forward into, not that you can't start putting things in place, taking actions towards your desires for this year, but let's do it at a more realistic, easy flow versus pressure. And I have to do everything right now. Like I've got to put all these changes, all these new things into place starting today, January 2nd. That's going to freaking overwhelm you. And you're probably going to fall off the wagon and feel like a big failure. So let's just do it slowly this year. Okay. The other thing that's coming in for this month, which kind of goes with everything else I've just talked about, is we are really being called to let go of people pleasing. There is no way that we can hear, much less follow our soul's guidance if we are so caught up still in trying to please everybody else. There's no way we can make every single person in our life happy and also make ourselves happy. It's just not possible, right? Because we all need different things to be happy. And it's actually not our job to make other people happy, right? We can support them in their happiness, but we're not here to make other people happy. We're here to live our lives, to listen to and follow our soul, just like other people are there to do theirs. Okay? So it's okay if other people get disappointed. We have to be comfortable with disappointing others, and also with being disappointed. Other people might have different agendas and different guidance than what we want or have, including partners and children and fill in the blank. And it's okay. Like we need to become comfortable with other people's disappointment and also with our own. And ending up with our key of the month is living your passions and purpose. And I want to say this is probably going to be, everybody kind of has lots of life areas they focus on. I focus on eight different areas in my work. And those are self-connection, spirituality, health, mind and body, relationships with others, passions, purpose, career, money, material, and location, home environment. So there might be a few really sticking out for you this year that you're being called to focus on. Most of us have something, at least in each area, even if it's a little bit, but some of us are being called to really hone in this year. And I'm going to say one of the biggest areas is passions and or purpose. Your life purpose, your career. Those are going to be two biggies this year for many of you. So as we do kind of a mini lesson on passions and purpose, first of all, your passions are the things that light you up, that you love to do, and are considered play, right? And many of us have been caught up for way too long in this hamster wheel of doing and achieving and working hard and striving and trying to make things happen. And that's just not going to work anymore. And it hasn't been actually for a couple of years for many of you. And it's going to get even bigger this year. This year is really going to be more about play. And how can we do everything with play? And how can we carve out more time for play and doing what lights us up and what we love? Even if what we love is our career, it can't be the only thing that we're doing. Okay, so we have to have that downtime, that play time, that passion time. So that might be something you're really called. Even as I'm talking right now, you might feel that. You might be like, oh yeah, that's something I really need to focus on this year. like I want to focus on this year. My soul's calling me to focus on this year. And then we have our purpose. And, a lot of people equal purpose, their life purpose, with their career. And yes, for many of us, we are, it is a big part of our career, but the truth is we're always living our purpose with every single thing we do every single day, whether it's at our job, whether it's at the grocery store, whether it's when we get together with our friends, whether it's talking to strangers. Like it doesn't matter what you do. We are being called to always show up and live our purpose. And essentially our purpose is knowing who we are and fully being that on the planet. That is your purpose. Your life's purpose is to know who you are, accept who you are, and then be that. Fully be that. It's going to look different for all of us, right? But oftentimes, so some clues to who you are here to be is, what do you naturally like doing? What do you naturally do, even if you weren't getting paid to do it? What do you love to do? What do you naturally do? Who are you just naturally in the world? And so this can be a little complicated, and I'll tell you why. So many of us came into families, we chose to come into families on this planet that weren't going to really accept who we truly were. And we asked for that for many different reasons. And so many of us are working on releasing all of that conditioning, all of the, those negative experiences where you learned that you weren't, who you were wasn't good enough or lovable. And so you actually turned down the truth of who you are, who your soul came here to be, your gifts and talents, because your biological family or your peers growing up didn't like it. You were rejected for it. You were criticized for it. So a lot of us, again, this year, because this is the year of more fully showing up, acknowledging who you are and being that on the planet, you're going to have to let go of or release, put this on your release list, I'm going to be rejected, who I am is not good enough, who I truly am isn't lovable. So you're being called in a big way, many of you, and many of you have been working on this already, myself included, but it's going to be bigger this year for many of us, to know who you are, accept who you are, even if others don't, even if your biological family didn't, and fully be that here on the planet now, because that's why you're here, right? You're here not to be like anybody else. You have unique gifts and talents. So there's my insights and guidance for January. I hope that you found something useful. Feel free to pass this on to anybody else you think would benefit from this message for January, insights and guidance. And if you'd like more support from me, you can do that in several ways. You can still join us for the Expand 2022-2023 program. You can also join me for Live Your Passions and Purpose Key program. And we also have the Connect with the Divine You monthly membership. So it's like a Tanya Penny light membership. And you get guided meditations and self-healing process for the month on your passions and purpose. Plus Magnetic Monday, we meet every Monday for a theme of the week and guidance and a mini practice for the week. So feel free to check those out. You can also sign up for a private session with me. And I have the Maui retreat coming up at the end of March, and would love, 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 love to be with you, work with you, and support you in person to clear out more of that gunk, right? All of that conditioning, limiting beliefs, fears, supporting you to heal your body, and then to receive all that you desire in 2023 and beyond. All right. Love you guys. Have a great rest of the month.